Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Kim. Today is Tuesday, November 8th, 2022, Election Day around the U.S. And we begin with millions of voters heading to the polls to have their say in our democracy. This election is called a midterm because it takes place in the middle of the four-year term of the president. The stakes are especially high this time around, with crucial contests all across the country poised to determine whether Democrats or Republicans control Congress and state governments. All 435 House seats are up for grabs, along with 35 of the 100 in the Senate and many governor, attorneys general, and secretary of state positions. While polls close tonight, winners may not be determined for days, as some states do not allow absentee or early votes to be tallied until all same-day votes are in. So we may all go to sleep tonight thinking we know who won, but wake up tomorrow to an entirely different political landscape. On the other side of the world, some good but not great news as the United Nations Climate Change Conference kicks off this week in Egypt. Called COP27, named for the 27th Conference of Parties, the 13-day gathering brings together more than 30,000 world leaders, scientists, activists, and environmental groups and businesses to discuss ways to protect the planet and assess how well nations are dealing with climate change so far. According to CNN, while temperatures are still expected to rise by a dangerous 2.8 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, climate scientists say we no longer appear headed for the even more disastrous 4-degree increase predicted 20 years ago. Climate activist Greta Thunberg is not going to this year's conference because she says she does not believe the meetings are helping. But more than 100 heads of state, including President Biden, are expected to attend. A Phillies fan is giving the city something to celebrate despite its World Series loss. 31-year-old restaurant server Alexander Tominski just finished the final stretch of his self-imposed quest to consume 40 rotisserie chickens in 40 days. According to the New York Times, the newly named Philadelphia Chicken Man says he took up the challenge simply to make people smile. He, on the other hand, appeared to grimace his way through the gobbling with bloating and bad stomach cramps. He told reporters Sunday, "I'm happy that it's over. My body is ready to repair." Many of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloons took test flights last weekend and passed with flying colors. According to New York One News, the airborne floats were inflated and prepped at the annual Balloon Fest at New Jersey's MetLife Stadium Saturday so their handlers could do a trial run before the festivities. This year's lineup of giant characters includes Bluey, Sinclair's Dino, Stuart the Minion, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and even a soccer player doing a bicycle kick. Some of the balloons are as tall as a 5-story building. Now, in its 96th year, the parade winds through Central Park and city streets before ending in front of Macy's. And there's no resting on laurels once this year's Thanksgiving parade is done. Planning for 2023 starts the very next day. A chunk of cheese cut through the competition and has been crowned the winner of this year's World Cheese Awards. More than 250 judges sniffed, poked, and chomped their way through 4,434 cheeses from 42 countries, all in one room in one day in the UK. According to CNN, this year's winner, a Gruyere from Switzerland, was described by its makers as a really refined, handcrafted cheese that melts on the tongue and has hints of herbs, fruits, and leather. Second place went to a Gorgonzola from Italy. The cheese choosers say sampling is serious and can be grating at times. According to one judge, the smell is quite pungent. He says after eating 20 cheeses, you do start to dip and can even get the sweats. That's it for KidNuz. Now today's KidNuz quiz. How many seats are up for grabs in this election in the House of Representatives? All 435. What is the official name of the United Nations Climate Change Conference? COP27. What kind of cheese won this year's World Cheese Awards? A Gruyere from Switzerland. Where did the test flights for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloons take place? New Jersey's MetLife Stadium. In today's Kid News Kicker, the crazy spider-like I voted sticker designed by a New York teenager is finally in the hands of Ulster County residents. We told you about Hudson Rowan last spring. His "My mom made me enter this contest" creation was so unusual it went viral. It has a spider crab body with bright blue legs sticking out from beneath a zombie-like head. The sticker competition was aimed at getting kids involved in the voting process, and according to Bloomberg, Hudson's monster won with 228,000 of the 243,000 votes cast. Everyone who votes in the midterm will get a sticker. As one Ulster County official told reporters, it kind of celebrates that coming together, even though we have our differences. Before we head out, we want to say a big hello to Mrs. Monte's Eagles at Vela Middle School in Brownsville, Texas, Mrs. Stanley's Golden Eagles at TF Neoga Riverside Academy in Whitney Point, New York, Mrs. Laura's Red, White, and Blue Freedom Flyers at Freedom Elementary in West Fargo, North Dakota, Mr. Thayer's Tigers at Douglas Elementary in Watertown, Wisconsin, and Mrs. Williams' Shamrocks at New Haven Elementary in New Haven, Missouri. Thanks for listening, everyone. Please rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you back here for more Kid News tomorrow morning.